together and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Not on a short.
Sure. Well, I mean, you look at where they were at the beginning of the year last year and where Tom was getting acclimated to that new offense and the new scenery, new environment, all that, his new teammates, right? So what they were able to do last year and end it the way they did is very, very impressive. And now for them to be able to start off as fast as they are and, being the number one explosive offense in the NFL, again, they do a great job coaching, and their players, and starting with Tom Brady, do a heck of a job of executing. And when you match that together, it makes it difficult. So, all in all, I think they got a really well-balanced team that is well coached.
And as an extension of that, how do you notice Brady different in October 21 than he was a year ago, just in terms of the comfort, the evolution of the offense to his preferences and those types of things?
Probably the biggest thing is you see, schematically him getting used to the guys that were new to him last year at this point. So that timing part, that element happens. They in the middle of their year, they went through a little bit of a rough patch and then they recovered and they turned it into something special. So that confidence that you get, and then ultimately when you win a Super Bowl the way that they did and the way that they played, really in all three phases, now they take it to this year, and you just think, they're at a good place right now. They're playing well, and they're going to be, very difficult to, down at their place and everything. But our guys are going to be excited for the challenge, and that's what we're looking forward to this week. We're getting a good week of practice.
From your quarterback perspective, what is the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady?
Well, that's a really good question. I mean, they're so similar in the fact that just the things that they do at the line of scrimmage and how slow the game is to them. The defense is slow to them. They see everything before it happens. Their similarities of the confidence that they have in themselves to be able to make every throw. The experience that they have. They're competitive. They're so competitive. They care, and so you see that they're multipliers, and they make their players better because of that. And you can do nothing but respect that.
Coach, they obviously blitz a lot, and they also get quarterback pressure.
Yeah.
And your quarterback is getting heat every game from opposing defenses. Could you just take us into what those conversations are like and how you prepare Justin for a team that really does it in so many dimensions?
Yeah, they do, Stacey. They make it difficult because they give you different looks, and it's, again, I go back to schematically with what Coach Bowles does with his players and how he changes things up. He doesn't have a lot of tendencies, and so that's always been his MO, and he is an aggressive type personality, and so what we got to do as coaches is we got to make sure that as we go through this thing that we're putting our guys in the best position possible to succeed. And that's what we do on Monday and Tuesday, and now we put it together and let them execute it and practice it throughout the week, and then you got to always be ready for adjustments.
So, as somebody who's known Bowles since, how old were you when you met Bowles?
Yeah, well, till I personally met him, I was a little older, but hearing about him all my life from my dad I was young.
How does his aggressiveness on the field, does it match his personality? To the outside, it wouldn't seem that it does.
Right. Yeah, well, he's one of those guys, I think, that he's very reserved and introverted when he's at practice. When I was in Philly with him, you could see him stand back behind the defense and just watch things happen. You didn't hear him very much. But he's such a good guy and has a great heart, and the players love him. And then I think just it's all about actions. And so when the way that his defenses have played in his career and how he's coached them as a defensive coordinator and a head coach speaks to who he is. I mean, he's been doing this a long time and been very successful. So, but the person who he is too, when you're behind the scenes and with him, always has that that laugh and is just a really good-hearted guy.
You guys got Cole going a little bit last week, and I know there's many different ways you've been asked about the tight ends and the passing offense, but with more 12, more 13 personnel, should that lend itself to maybe expanded opportunities for those guys in the passing game?
Yeah, I would think so. The more that you are playing 12 and 13 personnel, or you're in 11 and he's the tight end, there's opportunities. And we know kind of going into this, it hasn't been as many as we expected or wanted early on. So hopefully that'll grow a little bit as we build this identity on offense and for the other guys. But those guys they've been so valuable blocking, and now to be able to get that second element of being pass catchers and morph that together to where, for instance, if you do a play action, they're blocking well, and all of a sudden they release, and you can hit them like we had a few last week. So we want to keep that growing. I just give those guys a lot of credit because they're really they're selfless individuals that just want to win, and so that's the part that not winning last week and knowing that we can play better is what keeps them hungry.
Man, what kind of progress is Tariq making? Is he close to returning?
Again, I think that he's very similar to where he's been at, and the only thing I can say with him is he works hard. I see him every single day. He's trying to do everything he can, so just appreciate him.
Hey, Matt, Jalen Johnson posted a picture of the fine you gave him. Is this now like a bigger issue than the fine itself?
Well, that's that's news to me, but at the same point in time, I'll be able to talk to him and see what that's all about. But Jalen's he's been doing great, and again for what it is and where we're at, I'll be able to discuss it with him.
You've talked about wanting to see incremental progress from quarterback Justin Fields. What's the next step that you hope to see from him? Just not necessarily Sunday, but just moving forward.
Well, just again, for all of us, and we'll continue to always have this conversation, is I think the biggest thing for him is making sure that the stuff that he's doing well, he continues to keep getting better at. And what that is, for us, we know what that is without getting into a whole bunch of scheme. And then we talked about it the other day, like situationally, I think has been good for him and for us to talk through and discuss, like when you're in situations within the game, there's a lot of situations that go on. And so just him now kind of thinking like we think as coaches will help him so that when he's out there on the field, whatever it is, he thinks like us. And I think that he's done a great job of getting better and better each day. I mean, he's done it in practice, and now he's getting this game experience to elevate that.
Travis Gibson has gone from a healthy scratch earlier this year to putting together a couple of pretty good games. What have you seen in him that's been the reason for that progress?
Yeah, well, number one, you go back and I think about last year every day on the look team, 100 miles an hour, trying to get better, staying after, getting extra work, doing everything he can mentally. And then, at the same point in time, it's pretty cool as coaches when you develop players. And I look at Bill Shuey, and I seen what he's done to that outside linebacker room. And what, Travis is a part of that. It's not always just Khalil and Robert. And so I want to credit him for being able to get with those guys as well and do everything that he can, and then those guys going out and executing. So there's a lot of different stuff that goes on, but I think it's been great to see that part happen, and I'm excited for Travis.
Matt, Brady doesn't get embarrassed often, but when he gets the down wrong in the game last year and throws up the four fingers, in real time, did you see that, and what was your reaction?
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it until the next day when everybody was talking about it. So you never know exactly what's going on or what happened there. All I saw was that, we were able to see that scoreboard tick down and get the win. And that's not easy. When you're in that situation and he got the ball with that time left to get a field goal, there's not a lot of teams that come out on the other side, and we did. So I was pretty excited about that.
What facet of Herbert's running style serves you or serves him best against a good defense?
Just his low contact balance. You're not going to get arm tackles on him, I don't think. He's proven that. I love he's a really quick decision maker. So when he makes a decision, sticks a foot in the ground, hits it with that low contact balance, he's hard to bring down. So there's not a lot of negative yards, which is important. And so that combined with probably his confidence is going to grow every day, every snap he gets. And I just love his demeanor. He's a team player, not real vocal or loud or anything like that, but he's just a really good running back.
Man, do you know if Deion Bush's injury is season ending?
I don't have that other than with where he's at. I have no idea as far as season.
Is there a progress report on Tevin Jenkins?
Nothing. It's just no change with him.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Justin, you look to have a really good connection with Jesse James during training camp, preseason. Cole got going a little bit on Sunday. Are you starting to get a greater comfort level with him, with Jimmy, and some of the guys in that position group in terms of the passing game?
Yeah, I mean, of course, we have a lot of great tight ends, but yeah, just like you said, the more and more we practice, the better our connection is going to continue to get. So I think, all those guys are talented, and, we're just going to keep growing with each other and keep getting better.
What do you like specifically about Cole's game?
Cole, he's versatile. He's a great route runner. He has speed. He can catch, and he's also a great blocker. So, I mean, he can do whatever you need him to do. He's big. He's physical. So he's a great player.
Justin, Matt kind of went through with us on Monday some of the good things that you did on the 2 scoring drives. Then he also said we need more of that. From your perspective, as you look back at Sunday, what needs to happen to get more of those scoring drives within the game?
Putting plays together rather than a good play happening than a bad play, but putting all those plays together rather just having good plays here and there. That's one big difference I'm starting to find out is you have to put drives together rather than just have a good play here, have a good play there. I mean, because if you have a good or a bad play in college, it's easy to get that the yardage that you just lost the next play, where in the NFL it's not as easy. So just putting good plays together, back to back, and just creating more drives that create more momentum and just get us more in the rhythm. So to say.
Sorry, both Matt Nagy and John DeFilippo said that you've gotten good at going through your progressions to the 3rd and 4th reads at time. What is that a product of? Why do you think you have gotten better at that?
Just just coming up in my head before the play starts. If this isn't open, this is where I'm going to go next with the ball. So just kind of knowing where my answers are if my first read isn't there or if they switch the coverages up on me.
Is that a matter of trust too, like trusting your offensive line to take the time to do that?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it is. Sometimes you're just going to have to hang in there and, get to the 2nd, 3rd read. And, I think every day, being out there at practice, I'm just going to get better and better at it. So that's what I'm working on, just trusting my guys, trusting the O-line to do their job up front and getting through my reads when the 1st or 2nd guy might not be there.
Listen, how do you feel about the chemistry that you guys are building as an offense to be able to take that next step and get those good plays more consistently?
I mean, yeah, I feel great about it. I honestly think we're growing every day. The part that sucks is just, not being able to win games. So, but as long as we're growing and getting better every day, I think, that's the main focus right now. And just, eventually, our growth will pay off at the end. So we just, hope to win while we continue to grow rather than, continue to grow and not win.
Justin, you're so used to winning and to some degree scoring effortlessly.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with the natural frustration that might be there as these, as you keep getting better and keep developing?
I mean, you just have to, not necessarily accept the fact, but I mean, it's a different ballgame now. We're not in the Big Ten where Ohio State is most likely more talented than most of the teams we play. So it's the NFL now, so it's a longer season. So you just have to bounce back. You get knocked down, you just got to keep coming back. So as long as we do that, we'll be good. And like I said before, we'll continue to grow.
Justin, what are the Bucs' strengths defensively in your eyes?
Their front seven. Of course, they have one of the best front sevens in the league. So just being dominant up front and stopping those guys, I think they do a great job stopping the run. And of course, their scheme is just great too. So. Yeah.
Justin, you literally were a toddler when Tom Brady was winning Super Bowls. How has your appreciation of him as a quarterback kind of evolved as you've watched him, as you've grown yourself to get to at least close to the level where he is?
And yeah, Tom Brady's been in this league a long time, and it's just awesome to see, him still playing when he doesn't have anything else to prove. I mean, he's won 6, 7 Super Bowl rings, so just seeing him, still playing without anything else to prove. I mean, that just shows you how much he loves the game. So of course he's a great quarterback, and will most likely go down as the greatest quarterback of all time in NFL history. So.
Do you admire him more now than like when you were watching him on TV winning those Super Bowls or whatever?
I mean, I think, he didn't accomplish as much when I was younger. So of course, I appreciate what he's done more now.
You were clear last week that, it wasn't you versus Aaron Rodgers, it was Bears Packers. But, you've got the stretch where you faced Rodgers last week, you get Brady, Roethlisberger's probably a Hall of Famer, you get him in a couple of weeks. What can you take something from the experience, and what could that be?
So can I take something from the experience?
From whether it's, catching a glimpse of what they do on the sideline in a game, or, their film popping up in the building at some point during the week, stuff like
I
that.
think you can just take away, how they operate their drives and how they, operate a game. I think that's, one thing I took away from last week is just, like I said before, it's just the drives that you have to put together to consistently score. You have to put together a lot of plays on a good drive to score. Like I said before, it just can't be 2-3 good plays on a drive. You have to put together consistently, positive plays to get down the field and, of course, at least get points. So I think, that's one thing I caught last game, and really just I learned from last game. It's just, if it's a bad play, don't make it worse. And, sometimes, of course, I'm going to try to extend plays, but, if it's not there, just get rid of the ball and, move on to the next play.
Matt Nagy said that they may have thrown too much at you in the Cleveland game, so they kind of simplified things since then. Do you appreciate that? Do you like that they have quote unquote simplified things for you?
I mean, I think every football player plays better when it's simple. When I have to think less. When every football player has to think less, they're going to play faster and they're going to play more instinctively rather than having to think.
What are some of the things that came off your plate in that simplification?
Just less thinking, like just where some plays I don't have to think, I just hand the ball off, so some stuff like that.
I was saying that your situational football has improved the last couple of weeks. You're thinking like the coaches are thinking. What's the challenge of getting better at situational football? Because you can't just know what the situation is going to be. It's not like knowing the playbook or the reads or things like that. What's the challenge, and how do you think you've grown situationally in games?
The challenge is, you don't really experience that situation unless you've been in it or you learn from somebody else's experience in the same situation. So every week, we go through situational plays, in different games, and, we put ourselves in their position. What would we do in that position? So I think that's one challenge of not growing, and then I forgot your other question.
Where do you think you've taken a step, enough for Matt Nagy to say he's thinking like the coaches are thinking?
I mean, yeah, that's just, getting on the same page as them and see what's going through their mind at that, point in time and what they want to do and what they want to get accomplished on, that play or that drive. So just really being on the same page with the coaches.
Justin, as you go week to week, I know it's tough to pick just one, but what's the main element? Is there something that you're more focused on than anything else in terms of personal improvement that you're trying to work on the most?
No, just getting better. I mean, just getting more comfortable and getting better. That's my only improvement or only goal, really.
Justin, is the level of pressure you're seeing game to game kind of what you expected to this stage? I mean, you're going to see a team this week, too, that blitzes a ton and gets pressure on the quarterback. Is it kind of where you expected it, or is it exceeding the expectation?
Like pressure from the D-line or just pressure?
Yeah, just pressure up front, constant pressure.
I felt like last game, I think the O-line did a good job with, holding, of course, their D-line and backers off without much pressure. So, like you said, of course, this team blitzes more. So it's going to be a challenge for us. And, I think the O-line, the running backs and the tight ends are ready for that challenge, and, we're excited.
Justin, you were courtside for one of the Sky Finals games.
I can't even tell who's talking right now because
Sorry.
You were looking down. I was like, I don't know who's talking.
Where do I look?
Stand up.
You were courtside for Game 3 of the Sky WNBA Finals. What stood out about that experience? And then, obviously they won while you guys were playing, so you weren't watching. But what impressed you?
I mean, just the atmosphere there. I mean, of course, it's the finals, so the atmosphere was going to be, great. But that was my first time going to a WNBA game. So, I mean, just seeing the atmosphere, seeing, them play in person, seeing how, I guess, big they were in person, it was amazing to see. I'm a big basketball fan. My little sister plays basketball, so I would just wish she would have got to go because I know she would have enjoyed it a lot. So, I mean, it was fun.
She go on to play softball, too?
No, my 21-year-old sister, she plays softball, and then I have a younger sister. She's 15. She plays basketball. So.
How did that come about, going to the Sky game? Did you reach out? Did they reach out to you?
No, the PR people. I think they reached out to us to see if we wanted to go. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Justin.
Talking about putting together more consistent drives, not a good play here, a good play there, but more consistent drive. What's the key to that, and, you know, why was that such a big part of the scoring drives that you guys had on Sunday?
Yeah, I think when you look at those two scoring drives, just kind of the mix and run and pass and, you know, just kind of the stuff we kind of had off of that. So I think that's kind of something we can look at, you know, those two drives, which I thought were really, really good drives, you know, not only for Justin, but, you know, for the rest of the offense. So just kind of looking at those things and things we've done well and just kind of continue to build upon that.
Feel good to get going a little bit in that game?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, finally, you know, get some stuff downfield and whatnot, you know, kind of the stuff that I like doing as a tight end, you know, just big body catches and things like that. So hopefully we kind of can continue with that this week.
Well, I remember when you became a Chicago Bear, you talked about modeling your game after Gronk. I'm just curious, like, where your mind is heading into a game he might play. We don't know that yet, but just...
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously that's a guy that I've looked to, you know, since a kid, and, you know, the way that he plays, not only in the pass game, but also in the run game, and being a physical guy with the ball in his hands. Those are all things that I really look at. So obviously really cool to be able to play against a guy like that and, you know, watch him play.
Cool, facing a defense that likes to attack from the front seven. Can you draw lessons from that game against the Browns a few weeks back and kind of some similarities between those defenses?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they both got really good defensive fronts. Tampa's best in the league at stopping the run, and, you know, that's something that we've been really good at. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. And, you know, for us, it's just about, you know, as tight ends, really affecting the front any way we can, whether it's chips or, you know, standing for protection to help Justin and things like that. So we just got to be active on the edge like that, and, you know, it should work out well for us.
What do you see in their run defense that makes it as stingy as it is?
They're stout and they're big. You know, that their nose is really good, and obviously JPP's been in the league for a while, and, you know, they're long, athletic, but they're also stout up the middle, and they got backers that flow really, really fast. So I think that's just their ability to do that and then be able to react off of that into the pass game is pretty special.
How does it hit in the locker room when Aaron Rodgers yells, "I still own you" at Soldier Field? And Tom Brady made a joke today about Rodgers having a shareholding with the team. And how does that hit in this Bears locker room?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really talked about that. I mean, I think we've kind of just got to move on from it. You know, that was at the end of the day, that was last week, and we didn't see the TV copy, so that wasn't, you know, really that big of a deal. But yeah, I mean, this is what it is. We're focused on this week, and we're just moving on from that.
I'm asking you to put your Bears fan hat on. So
Yeah.
you grew up watching him play the Bears.
Yeah.
Does that hit you in a certain way?
Well, I mean, let's face it, he's not totally wrong. I mean, he's been pretty successful against the Bears in his career, so you know, it's on us to kind of change that narrative going forward.
Cole, what is the tight end's responsibility in the run game any different against a team like the Bucks? Challenge for you, or?
I mean, sure, it's a bigger challenge. You know, I think we're playing, you know, some of the top players in the league, you know, this weekend. You just got to be better with your technique. You know, they're big, long guys, and, you know, being able to use, you know, different forms of technique against these guys will be a big deal coming up this Sunday.
Is your comfort level any different now? You know, the Bears have made a big push on for the run game with blocking and so. Are you any more comfortable now than you were even like a year ago? Is it any different?
Oh, yeah.
Any different for you?
Yeah, 100%. I think, you know, well, when you first start, you know, coming out from college, you're able to just kind of manhandle people, and it comes pretty easy. And then you learn quickly that you got to have some good technique, especially when, you know, you're undersized compared to these ends and outside linebackers that come up on the ball. So, yeah, you know, I even go back to us playing them last year, and, you know, I was kind of looking at some tape from when we played them last year, and, you know, seeing where I've grown in the run game, you know, I think has been really big, and, you know, just kind of continue to do that over the next, you know, weeks and, you know, show that out this game.
Well, where do you think the pass game needs to improve in terms of you guys as receivers getting more separation to make things a little easier for your quarterback?
Yeah, well, you know, I think it just comes down to execution, you know, all in all, and, you know, making sure, obviously, like, you know, I've stated before, you know, you get that run game going and build the passes off that and be able to do great play action, and you know, that'll just kind of naturally help with that separation. So just doing those things and then just making plays when the ball's thrown to you.
What did you see from Khalil Herbert last weekend in terms of his readiness to take advantage of an opportunity that came to him?
Yeah, he was super focused coming into the week, and, you know, he's been awesome since he's come in, and he's a lot of fun to play on the field with, you know. So, I mean, you know, between him, Damian, and David, they all kind of have that same type of mindset, and it's really fun to be able to block for those guys and see them do well in the game.
Khalil seems like another one of those low-key guys. What do you look for on the field to indicate that the switch goes on?
Yeah, I don't know. He's just really poised, man, and he doesn't say much a lot. You know, he's just kind of, you know, going about his business and things like that, and but you know, he shows a lot of passion out there when he gets running and he runs somebody over. So obviously that gets everybody else going.
When you say they're fun to play with, what does that mean?
Well, I love playing with guys that don't go down, you know, and, you know, are willing just to, you know, put their shoulder down and run somebody over for an extra couple yards. You know, I mean, obviously having a speedster out there is fun, and they can, you know, maybe hit the long play a little more often. But you know, watching those guys run and hit, and, you know, coming out of the backfield and all that things like that. There's just I enjoy playing with guys like that.
Play like you play, because you don't like.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't like to go down either. So yeah, I like that. I like when the guys get physical with the ball in their hands. I think that's a lot of fun.
In the last 5 days, you've had Damian test positive, Robert test positive, Furry is out.
Yeah.
What's your level of concern about just staying safe in the building?
I mean, I'm vaccinated, and I don't know. I'm not too concerned right now. If something happens, it happens. But, you know, I'm pretty healthy, so I'm not too concerned right now.
Since you've been around Justin, how do you sense that he handles losing and kind of dealing with something he's not really accustomed to much?
Yeah, I mean, he's been great. You know, he's on to the next game now. So I think he's got a great mentality in that regard. And, you know, like I've said earlier, his poise and his just ability to move on to the next play is pretty special.
Well, your 21-yard catch in the fourth quarter, what's it like running off the line and nobody picks you up?
Yeah, it's nice. You know, kind of a play where I can just, you know, read the coverage there and just kind of find a void in the defense. So, you know, hopefully get more plays like that where you kind of just able to run vertical and, you know, find that void. And, you know, I'm a big target, and Justin was able to hit me. So it was a, you know, good play, good execution on that.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Paul.
Darnell, we heard from, I think Matt said it, if I know Justin did, talking about we need to stack good plays to maintain drives and have a chance to do that, multiple good drives over the course of a game. How frustrating is it that you guys haven't been able to do that a lot? And I guess what do you think in your mind is the key to being able to do it more?
I mean, it definitely is extremely frustrating just to, not be able to do what you can't do. I feel like if you can't get a story out that you will want to get, it'll frustrate you as well. So, like, just not being able to do your job is a little frustrating, especially when you work hard and you want to be able to do great things. But I think it's just, having an understanding that it's a process and just understanding that you got to continue to move forward. You can't look back and just think about the past things that has happened. You just got to think about the future and speak things into existence and continue to work. And things will happen as long as you're working good, working hard, and working ethical. So.
To what extent can you see a light at the end of the tunnel? Like, are there plays out there you see that, hey, it didn't work this week, but as the offense grows, I can see down the road that it will happen? Is there anything like that happening?
Definitely. A lot of plays. I mean, even in the games, like after the game, I mean, it was we didn't win. We didn't get what we wanted to get out of it. But I mean, you definitely see and definitely understand that it's something there, and things are going to eventually pop. And when it does, it's going to be extremely fun. Right now, it's just just trying to get everything on the same page, and like I said, it's a process, and we'll get there.
You look ahead to Tampa. When you study their defense, what strikes you first about their secondary?
They play in your face, and they want to put hands on as well, and they believe in their front as well. They definitely have a strong front, so they're understanding that they're going to get back there, and they, from what I've seen, that they are like the number one team to blitz or whatever. So they definitely want to bring pressure, and so putting hands on is extremely helpful for them. So.
You built a good relationship with Justin and been around him a lot. What kind of examples do you have that things that we don't see or others don't see about the way that he works and the extra mile he's willing to go?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you're not after practice. After practice, he's getting a lot of work in. He wants to get reps in on certain things, and if it doesn't work out in practice, the mind that we have is that once we get it to work once, we see it, and we'll get it to work in the game. So some of the things like maybe a deep ball that didn't work out in practice, we'll get it in after practice. So things like that.
Are you often one of the guys who's out there running those routes after practice with him?
Yeah.
When you say things are eventually going to pop, can you be more specific on what that might look like?
Like consistency of a strong offense, and not we love our defense. Defense is extremely good. Defense has been good for a while. Just from what I've seen from the past, but just going out there and scoring points when we need to or have to, or just having an understanding the offense has us, and if it's 2 minutes on the clock, or if it's 30 seconds on the clock, just understanding that we're going to be able to go down there and score, or the other team doesn't want the ball in our hands. So just being dangerous like that, having the mindset, giving the mindset of the other team that we're going to be a dangerous offense.
First touchdown drive last Sunday kind of got a spark when you got that 11-yard corner route. What was notable to you about that play, just the timing and the precision that you and Justin were on the same page?
It's just, just the work that we have put in just to build the chemistry of him knowing when I'm going to break and me knowing when the ball is going to be there. So.
When it comes to a connection with your quarterback, is there anything you gain for whatever you see of Rodgers and Adams when you actually play them live? Is there anything you can pick up from games like that?
Just their chemistry. I mean, they've been playing a long time with each other, so I think their biggest thing is their chemistry, and they know each other in and out. So their biggest thing is their chemistry.
To go to Tampa to play the defending Super Bowl champs, what opportunity does this week represent for you guys?
I feel like every week is a big opportunity just to get a W, and just understanding that the next week is the best week to just put our name out there and just giving people a known that we're a threat to the to win a championship. So just going out there and just playing our game every week is just going to be able to do our thing and just like I said, be a threat.
You said that, this thing's going to pop at some point.
Yeah.
Do you have a sense of how close it is to popping, and has that, have you been right in the past, whether it's in college or last year, about, hey, we're so close, and then
Yeah. Yeah, they can always, everybody can always preach that, hey, we're this close. But, I mean, like, there's definitely a different feel. Like, you can feel like, yeah, we have the pieces. We have the things that we can do just to go out there and score points and just be consistent. But everybody just has to understand that everybody's success is each own success, regardless if it's from coach to quarterback to receiver to running back to line to the running back. Everybody's success is like echoes off of each other. So just having that understanding, we'll be able to do things that we want to do.
I don't know, we were just talking with Cole about the clip from when Aaron Rodgers said, "I still own you," after his touchdown run. What was your reaction to that? What was the team reaction to it?
I didn't have any reaction. I didn't see it until after the game. I mean, it's just his emotions that flared or whatever. I mean, I'm pretty sure we had some things to say about them as well. But, I mean, it's just, him going against the Bears. I mean, we don't want to say, we say things that we want to say to the Packers as well. So it's just him doing his thing emotion-wise.
Thank you.